Chicken, AKA yard bird, is probably one of the most overcomplicated proteins there are out there. I'm gonna give you 3 easy ways to create the most tasty, delicious, guaranteed, damn right fine chicken. Okay, so first you gotta get chickens, right? So just get the whole birds from your local grocery stores. Got 3 chickens. Let's get some gloves on, safety first. Right, Devin? No glove, no love.
No glove, no love.
No glove, no love. Glove it up. We make those gloves too, so you can get those at recteq.com if you need gloves. Anytime that I've bought like a bird or anything that I know is gonna have some juice in the package that's like cryovac like this, I like to get an aluminum pan and open it in the pan. That way the juices don't flow all over my kitchen, right? So that's my first tip right there. Let's keep track of how many tips. That's 1 right there. All right, so 2, there is a proper way to take your chicken out of the package. Now, I like to do it leg first, right? So what I like to do is get my knife in there, cut a seam, right? See how I'm grabbing it by the leg and then just pull it straight up out the bag, right? Just like that. The 3 ways I'm gonna be showing y'all how to do chickens are, we're going to rotisserie chicken on the X-Fire Pro. We're gonna be doing a beer butt chicken in the B380X, that's right, deluxe. And not to be outdone, we're gonna be doing a spatchcock in the Backyard Beast. All right, so now that we have our chicken out of the cryovac package, if your chicken has a little thermometer in there, get rid of that crap. Boop, out of there, right? Okay, so we're gonna do because it's gonna take the longest, we'll do the rotisserie first. Okay, so we're gonna rotisserize this chicken. Okay, so rotisserie chicken is super, super simple, right? You wanna open it up, any of this extra skin or anything like that, that fat, we're just gonna take that off, right? Anything that you see that you don't wanna eat, and it's usually gonna be around the neck area, this looks pretty good, or around the leg area, and we took that piece of fat off of there. All right, so the next step is we wanna season this up. Now, if your bird was not tacky, see how it's kind of moist? This is the second tip I want to give you. If your bird is not moist, you're going to want to hit it with some kind of spray. Now, duck fat, aerosol duck fat is a great spray. Any kind of canola oil, olive oil, totally appropriate for that. And the reason is it's going to act as a binder for your chicken and really hold that seasoning in place. So for the rotisserie chicken, we're going to go with some Chef Greg's 4-letter rub. And we're just going to go ahead and give it a little shake. Now, I always like to get down inside the bird, right? Now we're just gonna shake some of the seasoning straight into the crevasse. And then we're just gonna come back over. Tip number 2, when you season, you wanna season, or this is probably tip 3 or 4, I can't keep track, 3. You wanna season high to get better coverage on your bird. Now, if you're outside like me and the wind's blowing, it's gonna be a little tough, but season high and let it fly. That's the technique behind that. All right, we hit it with Chef Greg's. Now we're gonna come with my favorite seasoning, that soul powder, often imitated, never duplicated, lemon powder, spicy. Now remember, my bird was moist, the outside was moist, it was tacky, so the seasoning is really sticking to this bird, right? Okay, now, tip number 5, or the next tip is, let your seasoning really adhere to your protein. Let it soak in. And it's not gonna do it in like a couple seconds. So let it rest for about 10 to 15 minutes at this step, and your chickens are gonna taste 100 times better. So we have a skewering rod, is what I call this. I don't know what the technical name is, but that's what I call it, right? We have claws, right? These things are claws, they're sharp. And we have these little bracket spacers, right? Little bracket spacers right there. All right, so first thing, we have our skewering rod, right? We're gonna put our first little spacer on there. Next thing, we're gonna take one of our claws and we're gonna place it on there with the tips of the claws facing inside, right? Facing inside, got that? Now it's the spacing. We wanna make sure this is spaced properly. So we're gonna come on over to the X-Fire Pro. I already have it lit. And we're just gonna make sure that this is gonna be over the fire. So right about here looks really good to me. And we're just gonna twist that and lock it in. Right, locked in. Now that it's locked in, we can go ahead and take our bird. right? I'm gonna hold it by the feet. I'm gonna slide this skewering rod all the way through, right? And then I'm just gonna push this carefully using those sharp tips. I'm gonna push this all the way in and give it a good firm push, okay? Excellent. Next, we're gonna take our other claw and we're just gonna slide it straight in here. So we have the other claw, we're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna press it in tight, being very careful, get it in there nice and snug, and then we're just gonna lock this in. We have one more washer, we're gonna slide on the end, just like that, and we're ready to go. All right, so now we're just going to lock that washer in, lock the skewer in, that side, lock that washer in, and then we're gonna hit power. And this thing is off to the races. Now it may look a little loose right now, but as that protein cooks, it's going to tighten up. And that bird is gonna be absolutely delicious. Let's move on to the next chicken, and that's gonna be your beer butt chicken. recteq, in their infinite wisdom, came up with the recteq chicken roaster. This is perfect for your beer butt chicken, or just roasting your chicken with like some vegetables, potatoes, all around it. recteq has taken care of it for you, right? So we're gonna put this to the side for just a second, and we're gonna do the exact same thing with our chicken. We're gonna go ahead and take it out of the package. First, we're gonna make sure there's no gizzards or anything inside, all right? No neck bone or anything. Any kind of extra skin or anything on there, we would cut that off. That looks pretty good. We'll check the neck area. This looks good. No, a little bit of fat. We'll trim that little bit of fat off. But that looks really good. But we're gonna season this one a little different. We are gonna hit it with a little bit of Chef Greg's 4-letter rub. Absolutely delicious. We're gonna double up on these. We're also gonna be using that Colden's freaking Greek. This stuff is absolutely delicious, and it's gonna give this bird a nice herby taste. Mixing with the hops from the beer, I think it's gonna be a win-win. All right, chef tip, you wanna make sure that you cook above 300 degrees. I like anywhere between 325 degrees to 400 degrees, depending on what I'm trying to do to my bird. Okay, rest. This needs to rest 10, 15 minutes. Really let this seasoning penetrate this. I can't say that enough, all right? We're gonna go ahead and take our favorite beer, whatever you have lying around the house, right? Now, I let this beer sit out so it can get room temperature. That's another chef tip. That's tip number 7, right? Go ahead and pull the beer out of the refrigerator so it can get room temperature, so that's not one of the extra things your grill has to do to heat up, right? But now, once you've had it rested for 10 or 15 minutes, what we're gonna do is, we're just gonna take it, put it right over that beer can. Now, you see my fingers have got stuff all over this thing, like I took some of the seasoning off, so let's come back with a little bit of Colden's freaking Greek. Hit those spots that I missed. That looks great. Looks amazing. All right, 375 degrees. This is probably gonna take about an hour and 15 minutes to cook. We're gonna go straight on the Bullseye Deluxe Black Edition. All right, so we have beer can chicken on the B380X Bullseye Black Edition. X-Fire Pro, we're rotisserizing. Y'all can see it right behind me, rotisserizing that chicken as we speak. And then last but not least, I'm gonna show y'all how to spatchcock. Now, I would say out of the 3 techniques, this is probably the scariest because it's the most involved. But if you learn this, how to do this, you can apply this to any fowl that you have. We're gonna go ahead and pull that cooking tab out because that thing never acts right. We're gonna check it for gizzards or a neck. Yep, and it has all that in there. We're gonna go ahead and identify the different parts of the bird, right? So right now, how you guys are looking at it, this are the breast, the wings, the legs, and the thighs right down here, right? That's the whole chicken. So if we're looking at the breast, we know the backbone is gonna be on the opposite side, right? So all we have to do is flip this so the breasts are down, right? And then we have the backbone right there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our raised club shears and starting at the back of the chicken, we're just gonna make 2 little snips on either side of the backbone, right? That gives us a little guide. Now we're just gonna keep that snip straight, right? Just like that. On the other side, we're gonna do the same thing, keeping it straight. Don't bite off more than you can chew. A little at a time. Right, easy peasy. Little snip, snip, snip. And that's it. That's how easy that was. We're gonna take the backbone out. Boom. This chicken is pretty much spatchcock now. We want to identify that little piece of cartilage right there. That's where it is. See that little white cartilage right there? My knife's running over the top of it, right? We just want to notch that. See how easy that was to notch? You don't have to push down real hard. We're just going to notch that right there. Then we're going to find the ribs, which are right here, right? The rib cage. And we're just going to push down on the rib cage, just like that. See, I didn't like slam it down. Just a nice gentle push. So now that we have her all opened up like this, I'm gonna go ahead and make up some poultry injection. I have 16 ounces of water right here. And then I have our recteq poultry injection. Now I'm gonna put 2 capfuls of this into 16 ounces of water, and then I'm gonna mix it up. All right, put the lid on, nice and tight. Feel like I'm at Starbucks. At least 15 shakes. All right. You really just want all of that to dissolve, all of that injection. I'm gonna fill that thing up. And then we're just gonna come in here to these thighs and this leg. And we're just gonna pump, pump, pump them up. This is gonna ensure that your chicken is absolutely juicy and delicious. Do y'all see that thing pumping up right there? Oh my goodness. All right, we're gonna set this to the side. We're gonna go ahead and get our seasoning. We're gonna go with some Chef Greg's 4-letter rub as a base. Then we're gonna go ahead and hit it with some Rotisserie's honey rib rub. The easiest way to do this is a cooling rack. You can find these Amazon, wherever. Cooling racks is what they're called. So what I like to do is it makes it much easier. That way I don't ever have to touch my bird again until it's time to slice it. All right, we have our rack. Put our bird on our rack just like that. And from the rack, it goes straight into the grill. I have the backyard beast set to 400 degrees and I'm burning the recteq Ultimate Blend pellets. Now this is gonna take about 45 minutes to an hour on this chicken. We're gonna come back and check it in 30. All right, let's go ahead and check these chickens out real quick. We'll start with that beer can chicken inside the bullseye. Oh my goodness, look how great that looks. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and pull this thing straight out. All right, let's go ahead and take this off. Oh yeah. Look at how amazing that chicken looks right there. That's that spatchcock bird. Look how delicious though. It got nice and crispy. That is one good looking bird right there. So good, you guys. Rotisserie bird's the way to go. All right, Let's go ahead and slice this leg off. Look at how good that looks, so juicy. All right, so I've taken y'all through 3 different ways to prepare your chicken, classic ways. We did the beer canned chicken on the Bullseye Deluxe Black Edition. We did a rotisserie on your X-Fire Pro. And then on your Backyard Beast, we did a Spatchcock Chicken. All delicious, all easy. Make sure you go to recteq.com to check out more amazing recipes for you to create this summer. Grab life by the horns and we'll see you at the recteq.